Good day, everyone. BelleAim here, and welcome to the first movie reaction, I guess. I've been requested to react to the movie Chip 'n Dale, the one that is the live action one. So this is the first time I've ever doing this. So bear with me. I don't know the best way to do this. I basically watched the movie all the way through and had like a notebook with me, and I took a bunch of notes and basically just wrote down some of my reactions. So I guess I'll just kind of go through the notes, and then maybe at the end I'll do a little bit of an overview, like how I felt about the whole movie. But this is my first time, so hopefully it goes well. We'll see how it goes. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so my notes are down here below the camera. Sorry about that, but let's start from the beginning. Starts out with like an 80s flashback, which I really loved. And there's a little bit of 90s in there too, which that's like, I grew up in the late 90s. That was my childhood, so I have a good nostalgia for that. So that was really exciting. I thought it was a little bit weird that Chip and Dale were like this 3D cell shaded thing instead of an actual animation, like the 2D animation like they were back in the day. That threw me off a little bit because it was like watching, Wind Waker Link instead of hand drawn on the page. And some of the other characters were drawn that way. Like I think Tigra was her name. So that just threw me off a little bit that at least even the old versions of the chipmunks, actually, yeah, they are chipmunks, right? I was like, chipmunks, wait, that's Alvin, but no. Anyway, yeah, so I don't know. It was a little bit odd, but I got used to it after a while. Also, the human voices were a little bit strange. I really loved the kid voices, like from the very beginning when they were kids. That suited for some reason, but then when they had like adult men voices, it took my brain a minute to be like, okay, that is them, even though you don't hear the little because I really loved that as a kid. I thought that was a fun voice for them. So that took me a little bit to get over. And for some reason, Dale's voice took me longer than Chip's voice to get used to. And like, okay, that's them now. So, but it was kind of a cool angle with them making up those voices for the shows. So that was a nice little touch to kind of connect to the past. So I don't know. I think maybe they chose that direction because it might be annoying hearing them speak like that for the whole movie. I don't know. I guess it was just a choice that the director had, which I believe was the guy who was the dwarf. What's his name? I think I wrote it down later, but I can't remember his name right now. But I think he might have been the director. There was so many cameos in here. That's probably one of my favorite things about this movie, that like picking out all the cameos. Of course, I noticed Full House, Paul Abdul. This is just some of the ones that I picked out. There's like way more in here. Baloo, why was Baloo 3D? I would not expect Baloo to have that 3D CGI surgery that Dale had. I don't know. He seems more old school, like laid back. So I thought he might stay the original animated, so that one threw me off. But Lumiere, that was an exciting one because, Beauty and the Beast. I love that movie. Then, of course, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the 3D version. Cars, which I was kind of surprised to see Cars. Wreck-It Ralph was in there a couple times, or Wreck-It Ralph, references. Scooby-Doo, Phineas and Ferb, South Park, Rick and Morty, Doc McStuffins, which, thanks to my kids, I knew about that one. But yeah, there's like way more than that. Those are just the ones that I wrote down that I was like, oh, I know these. So that was fun. And then, of course, we got to talk about Ugly Sonic. Ugly Sonic was, I think they ramped up the ugliness even from what he was supposed to be originally, because he was definitely not not Sonic. Like, if that's how Sonic was going to be in the movie, oh man, that would be so jarring. Like, ugh, it was really funny though to get that glimpse, like, is this really how it would have been? I'm sure the voice and all that and the mannerisms would have been different, and they definitely wouldn't have zoomed in on the human teeth as much, even though those moments had me cracking up when they were like, oh yeah, I'm glad you got an opportunity, and I was like looking at their mouth all zoomed in. That was pretty hilarious. And of course, there's a bunch of puns in here, which I loved. Some of my favorites I wrote down. The frog was talking about at my pad. VIP monk was on the license plate, like chipmunk, but VIP monk, which I thought that was fun. And VIP, that's like a double thing. The battering rams, silly putty, like, just great ideas here. The bootleg concept, It kind of threw me off because I feel like bootlegs are impersonators, not the actual characters being shifted around. But I understand where that came from, and it made it have that, that risk that we need to fix this, we need to find Monty type of deal, which I love Monty's voice actor, by the way. I've always enjoyed that one. The gadget and zipper combo felt really weird to me. I don't know why. Like, there's no reason that it doesn't make sense, but it just, for whatever reason, I did not really understand why they ended up together. But, I mean, it's fine. It was very funny to have that little shot of all the kids they had, which was kind of crazy. I didn't really notice any chemistry until maybe later on. There was that one scene where they're at the bar together, but then other than that, I was like, okay, I guess because they were together in the set. Maybe I'm thinking too much about this, though. That happens a lot. And then there was a joke about a Facebook fan page for the Chip and Dale reboot idea, and I was like, I wonder if that actually is how this all started. Like, if there was some kind of Facebook fan page that went like really viral or grew a huge amount and then got the attention of people like Seth Rogen. That's the name that I couldn't remember. And maybe that's where they were like, oh, you know what? There is interest for this. Let's go ahead and do one of those. So I was curious about that with that line. There was like a throwaway line about that. All the fake movies were so fun. Like, I actually want to go back and pause it and look at them all because I barely was able to catch a few. I know there was Batman vs. E.T., Fast and Furious Babies, Beauty and the Cursed Dog Man, like, so good. And I saw something about Matilda, but it was so quick I didn't get to see that one. But I definitely want to go back and check out all the fake movie names because that was pretty great. Gumby Detective, the putty guy, I love his voice actor. I can't remember his name right now. I think it's something Simmons. Really great job. As usual, he's fantastic at that. He's excellent. Putty was also a pretty fun character because I loved Gumby when I was a kid. So it kind of reminded me of Gumby. And I think someone even called him like a low rate Gumby or something. I'm pretty sure that Ellie called him that, or I'm not sure, but I don't know. I enjoyed Gumby. That's what I'm calling him. I enjoyed Putty. We'll call him Putty because for whatever reason I can't remember his name. Ellie was really sweet. I liked Ellie. Let's see. I loved how the overlay for Case of the Missing Monty showed up kind of, I don't know, third into the movie, that whenever the Dale and Chip started actually trying to find him, that was really fun. I like that kind of cheesy stuff where the title was like, yes, here it is, title of the episode, even though it wasn't title of the movie. So, I don't know. I liked that. Wrong Side of the Train Tracks, another fun little kind of pun. The cheese seller Muppet, he was like CG animated, which really threw me off because why couldn't they have a puppet for that? So, like, just certain movements were very Uncanny Valley, but maybe that was on purpose because they went to Uncanny Valley. I don't 100% know, but I feel like they CG animated a lot of things that they didn't necessarily have to. Like, Chip's dog was animated, but I guess because they didn't want to have a dog in a small set in the house, so it's probably just easier that way, which seems counterintuitive because I feel like CG animation is harder than being like, come here, puppy. But I guess because they wanted the dog to do specific movements. But for the Muppet, I thought they could at least have a Muppet easily. I don't know, it just threw me off. Uncanny Valley was hilarious, though. I was so cracking up so hard from the cats in the alleyway, like Cats from the musical Cats, the remake one where they had the humans dressed up as cats. Oh my gosh, that was so funny. It still makes me laugh just thinking about because they're like miniature. They shrunk them down, but they were having this little cat fight in the alleyway. I don't know. It was great. It was so funny. And it reminded me of like the early video game styles with the NPCs. And there was the one guy just walking into the fire hydrant, just continually walking but not moving. That was really funny. They did such a great job with that. And then when they called out the Polar Express eyes specifically, I actually love Polar Express. I feel like Polar Express and the Christmas Carol, the one that's like that. Those two have that style. I really liked the Polar Express. It's got like that magical charm and adventure, and I liked that one. But I can see what they're talking about with the eyes and everything. And I like how they took Seth Rogen and kind of used that style and made him the dwarf character. That was fun. And then Shrek body wash, that is hilarious. And I kind of wish that was a thing because I would definitely buy it just for checking it out and seeing what it was like. And I love how he turned the toys into toilets. That's another great pun. So I'm liking all this fun stuff here. The Coca-Cola bear, I think that's what it was. Derek and I were trying to figure out, okay, what's this polar bear? Kind of looks like the Coca-Cola bear, but I'm not 100% sure. Let's see. Oh, right. I absolutely hated what they did to Peter Pan. Peter Pan is near and dear to my heart. I love that movie. That was one of my favorites as a kid. So seeing him go through such a horrible thing is just, it's rough. Like, I hate to see him turned out that way. I guess I understand it from a story point of view. Like, it's really sad. It also hits on the truth of how shallow show business can be. So I get it, but at the same time, why did it have to be Peter? Why couldn't it be someone else? Oh man, I don't know. I really liked Peter Pan, so that was really hard for me to get over. Oh yeah, and then whenever Dale was talking about how he likes to map his run in the shape of a butt, that is so funny because I've actually thought about that. Like whenever people map their runs and share them on Facebook or whatever, like trying to make a pattern. I've actually had that thought before. Never a butt, but so that was really funny that he mentioned that. The story about Nick Jr. was a little bit weird to me. Like why did they fight them back? Like I forgot which character did what, but Paw Patrol or something. I don't know. It was kind of weird when Ellie had the fake tip and she went to the Nick Jr. studios and then they started fighting back. I was like, wait, what were they doing that was causing them to fight? That was like very strange to me. I don't know, it didn't mesh for some reason. Maybe because I'm partial to Nick Jr. stuff because of my kids. I really liked a lot of Nick Jr. shows. Maybe that's it, because Paw Patrol was really cute and Marshall, I don't know. It may be that. I'm not really sure. It just seemed a little off. There was a very long section about rapping, which to me was probably one of the lowest points of the movie. It was very meh. It was very like, okay, I get it. This is not a very good rap, which they were trying to rap badly on purpose for the story, but it just wasn't really enjoyable as an audience member to watch. It wasn't a very good beat, and obviously they didn't say much for the rapping. It was like one line about not killing whales or something, which is great, but it was just not entertaining to me. The CGI machine was very disturbing, but it was really cool in the preview screen before they actually went into the machine to see to see Chip and Dale in different like styles, cartoon styles. My favorite was the kawaii one, of course. That was adorable. I kind of want to go back and look at them all slowly so I can appreciate each one. But from the quick flipping through, that kawaii one was definitely my favorite. There was also a lot of references in the little bags of, I guess, cartoon pieces at the end. Like I definitely saw Sora's, I think, Keyblade and hair, Jimmy Neutron's hair, like a whole bunch of things in there. That's another scene that I would really like to pause on and be like, oh, I see all these little things. I know where that came from, and that's fun, picking out where everything came from. I thought it was pretty fun that they had a 3D like animated, I guess, character. One of the reporters had the red and blue lines around them, which used to have to wear these little glasses, one side red, one side blue, to make them have that 3D effect. So I thought that was kind of neat that they threw that in there. Whenever Pete was saying that he has his ways of tracking people, basically like stalking Dale, and then he makes this big thing of pulling out his phone and like pushing the button, and all it is he's following his social media. I thought that was so funny and also scarily true, but really funny. That was a very effective way for him to stalk him and find out where he was going to be, track his every move. Oh yeah, I saw that like a sign for Senator Butthead, like Beavis and Butthead. I thought that was pretty funny. The Ant-Man section was pretty funny. It was a little random, like Aunt Man, like how Paul Rudd's character is does well with aunts, however you want to pronounce it. That was pretty funny. They even had a poster of it later on in the ending credits. There was a bunch of Seth Rogen cameos at one section where they were all talking to each other. It was a little odd, but I get what they were coming from, but it was very weird. It wasn't like oh gosh, I forgot which movie it was. But there was this one scene where the guy that used to be in all the Pixar movies, he was like at a drive-in. It might have been Cars. It was probably at the end of Cars, but he like saw his character, his voice in all the different characters he's done for Pixar. Like, I felt that one was a little bit more fun of a, here's all the voices I did as characters, you know, as cartoons. The Seth Rogen one was just a little, I don't know, maybe it was fast or something. It was okay, but it just kind of threw me off like, whoa, what's happening here? Whenever they had the outside shots of where that convention was, it actually looked like where E3 is, and I've been there, so that was really cool. That was just a little personal side note there. The putty twist near the end, like the villain and everything, I mean, I actually did not think it was putty because of the line of them saying that it would be too obvious. So I kind of like the double twist, but once it's been revealed, it's kind of like, oh, really? Okay. I guess he just really wanted money. Like, it wasn't very fun. I get it. It's like a joke in itself that they said, no, that's too obvious, but then it was correct. So, you know, it was all right. But I guess because I really liked Putty, I kind of wanted him to be at least a little more on the neutral side, but he was just like, I just want the money. I wrote down the secret code was pretty fun, but now I'm not remembering what the secret code is. But I did write down that it was funny, so whatever that was, it was fun. The Men's Warehouse reference I thought was hilarious. Because he's like, you're not going to get away with this right after he said the Men's Warehouse. You're going to love the way you look. And then he was like, oh, the Men's Warehouse thing? Yeah, I think I will. That was pretty good. There was the hidden Mickey firework, which of course was really fun for a Disney movie. Because there's always a hidden Mickey. You can always find those around. The bad guy as an abomination, that was super fun because, again, it's like picking out all the pieces. Like, there's Wreck-It Ralph, and there's Woody from Toy Story, and there's the cat from Chip 'n Dale, and, you know, trying to put together this mishmash of where did all these pieces come from. That was fun. And I loved the Jurassic Park reference where, like, the little poster is falling down, and he's, ah! That was really cool. I also really like Jurassic Park, so that was neat. It was pretty intense, honestly, that chase and the fight scene, the climax, basically. I was not expecting it to go so intense. And then there was a bird gag. So, you know, in cartoons, whenever they get hit in the head and the birds like fly around and then the bad guy is distracted by that instead. So I know they were doing that to call back to Chip 'n Dale, but it just felt so, it felt like such a like flimsy resolution to that intense climax to me. So I don't know, that felt a little out of place for some reason. I felt like that maybe could have been in the middle or in the earlier parts of the chase scene, not the actual ending conclusion. Like, this is how we distracted him. That part just kind of threw me off, I guess. There was a sweet moment at the end, which I liked, and Chip's mom was really sweet, and I really liked how Chip kind of adopted her little saying about, now I can't remember, but if you don't try, like, something along the lines, oh no, I don't remember, that's embarrassing, but Chip had a saying that she told him on his first day of school, and he kept it with him, and that impacted not only his life, but then he used it and it impacted Dale's life. So I thought that was really neat. I liked that. And then, of course, the ending laugh was great, where they all do that awkward laugh, and Ellie's like, I've always wanted to do this, but how long does this last? And then the remix joke at the very end, where they were talking about, like, have a pop star redo the song that everybody actually wants to hear and have it be all in, like, serious and normal. But that was funny. I liked that. And as far as how that song went, yeah, I prefer the original. I definitely was on the side of the joke there. But it's still good. And sometimes I really do like the remixes. I like having both. But generally speaking, yeah, the original is the one that I tend to like. But I guess that's pretty much all my notes. So let's see. An overall of the movie, I would say I've never seen Roger Rabbit, and I hear very good things about that one. So I cannot compare like how those two go. But as a movie overall, I'd say it was pretty average. Like, it's definitely not my favorite movie. I definitely didn't hate it. I enjoyed it. I obviously laughed at a lot of things because I pretty much wrote down everything that I mostly liked. I wrote down a few things that I didn't. So I had some genuine laugh out loud moments, which I really enjoyed, but it's not anything major. It's not going to be a defining film in my memory by any means, but it was a good time. So like, I don't know, 3.5 out of 5 stars type of deal. It felt like just a fun time movie. And I will also add that my daughter and my, she's 9, and then my oldest son, 13, they started watching with me. My daughter fell asleep in the middle and missed the whole rest of it. She said it was kind of boring to her. And then my son, he watched the whole thing before, so he was watching it for a second time with me. But at one point he decided to leave and do something else. So that's what the family review is, kind of like, I thought that might be fun to add in there. But I will say the 13-year-old did watch it the entire time, the first time he saw it on his own, because he saw that without me before I saw it first. And I guess that's pretty much it. I hope that this went well. I hope you enjoyed this foray into my first time reacting to a movie. And a big thank you to Eggroll for suggesting this, Richard Herrera, on Patreon. Thank you so much. If you would like to make a suggestion for something for me to react to in the future, you can go check out the Patreon. There's a level there where you can request things for me to react to, and that's exactly what this video is. So hopefully it went well, and hopefully you enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of your suggestions soon. So thank you very much. Trying to think of a laugh to end on, some kind of joke where we can all laugh together, but nothing's coming to mind. So I guess until next time, I will see you then, and take care.